Top lists, the top video channel. Want to see more videos? Subscribe to Top Lists for more insight, and don't forget to hit like to support us. Keep tuning in. Ever wondered just how strange laws can get? Welcome to a world where the legal and the ludicrous intersect, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. We're talking about laws, not just any laws, but the weirdest, most bizarre ones that still exist today. You'll be amazed at what some places consider illegal. Think about it. Are there any peculiar laws in your state or country that seem out of place in the 21st century? Or maybe you've heard of a strange law from a friend or stumbled upon one on the internet. It's a fascinating realm to delve into, revealing a unique, sometimes humorous perspective on different cultures and their pasts. So, buckle up for this exciting jaunt around the globe as we unearth some of the most outlandish legal tidbits that are still on the books. From the perplexing to the downright hilarious, we've got it all. Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 weird laws you probably didn't know still exist today. Starting off our countdown at number 10, we have a law from Oklahoma in the United States. Now you may think of Oklahoma as a land of sweeping plains and wheat fields waving, but did you know it's also a place where whaling is strictly prohibited? That's right. In this landlocked state, it's illegal to hunt for whales. You might be scratching your head at this one, and honestly, we are too. Why would a state nearly 1,000 miles from the nearest ocean need a law against whaling? It may be a remnant from a time when laws were copied from state to state without much thought. Or perhaps it's a precautionary measure, in case global warming floods the plains. Whatever the reason, this quirky law is still on the books. So, if you ever find yourself in Oklahoma, remember to leave your harpoons at home. At number 9, we have a law from North Carolina that might disappoint some karaoke enthusiasts. This southern state has a rather peculiar law that makes it illegal to sing off-key. Yes, you heard it right. If you're not hitting those notes correctly, you might just find yourself on the wrong side of the law in North Carolina. Now you might be wondering why such a law even exists. Well, speculation suggests it could be a throwback to a time when communal harmony was taken quite literally. The law might have originated as a way to maintain a certain standard of public performance, ensuring that any singing in public was pleasing to the ears of the listeners. So if you're planning a trip to North Carolina and can't resist a good sing-along, you might want to do a bit of practice first, because in this state, it's not just about the spirit of the song, but hitting the right notes too. So, better practice your scales before you set foot in North Carolina. At number 8, we have a law from Switzerland that could have you holding it in. Believe it or not, it's considered illegal to flush the toilet after 10 in the evening in this European country. This unusual rule is likely due to the Swiss people's consideration for their neighbors, as flushing can sometimes create quite the noise in apartment buildings. It's all about peace and quiet in Switzerland, so if you're a night owl visiting Switzerland, you might want to adjust your schedule. At number 7, we have a law from China that takes spirituality to a whole new level. In the vast and varied legal landscape of China, one law stands out for its metaphysical implications. It's not about traffic rules, taxes, or even food safety, it's about reincarnation, and it's as serious as it gets. In China, it's technically illegal to reincarnate without government permission. Yes, you heard that right. The law, which has been in place since 2007, requires all Buddhist monks and nuns to get official approval before making a return trip from the afterlife. While it might sound strange to some, it's deeply rooted in the country's political and religious context, particularly in relation to Tibet and its spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama. So, what's the moral of the story? In China, even the cycle of life and death can be subject to bureaucracy. So, if you're planning on reincarnating, make sure you have your paperwork in order. At number 6, we have a law from Singapore that could leave a bad taste in your mouth. In this high-tech city-state, it's actually illegal to chew gum. Yes, you heard that right. In an effort to keep the city clean and pristine, Singapore banned the sale and importation of chewing gum back in 1992. The rationale behind it? To prevent vandalism and maintenance issues caused by improperly discarded gum. So, if you're a gum chewer, you might want to switch to mints before you visit Singapore. Halfway through our countdown at number 5, we have a law from Sweden that could ruin your dance party plans. Yes, you heard that right. In Sweden, it's illegal to dance in public without a permit. Now, this might sound a tad too strict, but let's delve into the possible reasons behind this unusual law. Historically, this law was implemented to maintain order and prevent rowdy behavior associated with late-night revelries. The idea was to keep the noise level down and ensure that public peace wasn't disturbed. It also served as a means of regulating establishments that played music, to prevent them from becoming public nuisances. In recent years, there have been debates about the relevance of this law, with many arguing for its abolition. Nonetheless, it still remains in effect. So, for now, if you're feeling the vibe and want to break into a spontaneous jig in Sweden, remember to keep it private or get your dancing shoes permitted. So, if you're planning a dance-off in Sweden, make sure you get your permit first. At number 4, we have a law from Alabama that should be obvious but apparently isn't. Yes, you've heard it right. In Alabama, it's illegal to drive while blindfolded. One might wonder why such a law needs to exist, right? Well, it seems the lawmakers in Alabama didn't want to leave any room for ambiguity when it comes to safe driving practices. They made it crystal clear: keep your eyes on the road, and most definitely not covered. So, if you're in Alabama, remember to keep your eyes on the road. Coming in at number 3, we have a law from the UK that could make your final moments a bit complicated. In the heart of the British legal system, in the UK Parliament, it's actually illegal to die. Yes, you heard that right. Now you might be wondering, why on earth would such a law exist? Well, the answer lies in the rich history of British royal tradition. It's believed that anyone who dies within a royal palace is entitled to a state funeral. Since the Houses of Parliament, which include the House of Lords and the House of Commons, are considered royal palaces, the law was put in place to avoid the complicated scenario of granting a state funeral to anyone who might pass away within their walls. So, while it might seem like a funny law to us now, it was likely a practical solution to a potential royal predicament at the time. So, if you're feeling a bit under the weather, maybe avoid a visit to the UK Parliament. At number 2, we have a law from France that might disappoint some extraterrestrial visitors. Believe it or not, it's illegal for aliens to land in French vineyards. This bizarre law, it seems, was enacted to protect the country's prized vineyards from any potential extraterrestrial contamination. Perhaps the French government was worried about intergalactic wine snobs, or maybe they just wanted to ensure that their Bordeaux and Burgundy remain purely terrestrial. So, if you're an alien planning a visit to France, make sure to avoid the vineyards. And finally, at number 1, we have a law from Australia that could ruin your beach day. Down under, it's illegal to have a cow on the beach. Yes, you heard that right. A cow. Now you might be wondering why such a law exists. Well, it's likely for safety and cleanliness reasons. A beach isn't exactly the ideal place for a cow to be, what with the risk of the animal wandering into the water or leaving behind, well, let's just say unwanted souvenirs. This law also speaks to the broader issue of animal welfare. A beach, with its hot sand and lack of shade, is far from a cow's natural habitat. Thus, enforcing such a law helps ensure the well-being of these farm animals, while also preserving the cleanliness of Australia's beautiful beaches. So, if you're planning a beach day in Australia, leave your cow at home. And there you have it, the top 10 weird laws you probably didn't know still exist today. From the prohibition of whaling in landlocked Oklahoma to the unexpected ban on cows basking in the Australian sun on the beach, we've journeyed from North Carolina's mandate for perfect pitch while singing to Switzerland's nighttime toilet flushing restrictions. We've explored the surprising need for official permission to reincarnate in China and Singapore's stern stance on chewing gum. We've danced, or rather, not danced in public in Sweden, driven without blindfolds in Alabama, and tried not to die in the UK's parliament. And who can forget France's peculiar law prohibiting extraterrestrial visitors? Now, we'd love to know which of these laws left you most surprised or tickled your funny bone. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of weird laws. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Top Lists, the top video channel. Want to see more videos? Subscribe to Top Lists for more insight, and don't forget to hit like to support us. Keep tuning in.